Today I want to talk to you guys about lumber a little bit. I got a few billets that are roughed out already that I wanted to show you. This is something I thought was cool. Look at this. So that's a billet with the bark left on it. This is white oak billet. It's perfect, perfect lumber. You can't really ask for much more. It does have the heartwood and sapwood, but that should be okay because the grain orientation's good. I know it can, it can be a weak spot, but I don't know. I haven't had trouble with it really. Here's something terrible. Here's a beautiful little ash uh, blank that I was just roughing out with hatchets, and I realized it's cracked. It has a bad crack. It goes all the way down to here, all the way down to the bottom of the shoulder. Or yeah, bottom of the shoulder right here. Oh man, bummer, total bummer. I knew once I cut off some of the tongue, I saw that big crack, and then I realized it goes all the way down, all the way down. That was a real bummer. I'm gonna try some things with this. I'm gonna try to save it because it's a pretty nice piece of lumber, and I don't have a lot of dry stuff. And ash, I think ash comes down usually with less moisture in it. Like no matter what, it's gonna have less moisture when you cut it green or dry, or when it's been dead for a while. So now we got some premium lumber, and this is gonna be special. This is gonna be for a special axe. This is a billet of mulberry, and as you can see, good to go. Good grain orientation and end growth. Pretty nice. Pretty straight too. I don't think I did much hewing on this, so it's a pretty straight billet, which is not the easiest to find when it comes to mulberry. And then that first one with bark was white oak, and so is this. This is a beautiful, big, beautiful billet. Does have some cracking, but hopefully that'll come out. One thing that I learned about drying oak, and I keep talking about medullary rays. Well, this is good grain orientation, so that means the medullary rays are on this face. They're going this way. That's the medullary rays, perpendicular to the growth, which is going this way. Um, I started sealing this side with glue, and you would have seen it on that first billet. There was glue on one side, bark on the other side. So essentially, bark just helps your wood, keeping the bark on just helps your wood dry slower. And so same with the glue. It's the same exact thing. I'm just putting it on both sides, so this face doesn't crack on both sides. Now, I've leaned this up against the wall, this specific billet, and I've placed other billets right beside it. And that's what I didn't even seal it too well. I used old hide glue. Finally, it looks like it's hardened. I like to do 2 coats of wood glue usually for my end grain, and now for this face. This is a big face. I mean, this is a 5.5 inch face right here at least. This is a big piece of wood. So yeah, all my stuff is hand riving when it comes to full size billets. It's all split out with wedges and the fro, that kind of thing. Let's go back to that first billet though. If you didn't see the glue, you could see the glue, how yellow it is. You see it comes down a little bit here. So yeah, this was to prevent cracking. I had tons and tons and tons of cracking on billets, and I worked pretty hard to get those billets, so I don't want them to crack. One of the worst parts of harvesting your own timber, I mean your own lumber, is waste and cracking and checking. It just is such a bummer. So this is a great piece of lumber. I'm really excited to use this one. This one will be drier than the other ones because it's already thinned down more. So most of my rough billets are like this. And then because I wanted to make this one dry faster, plus I was getting rid of cracking, I kind of roughed it out. out of one of these. So it's a simple process. Like, you can understand how you just leave the wood somewhere and it dries out, the water evaporates. But you know, it's not that easy to make lumber, especially when it comes to here's the thing with handles is you want this lumber to be dry as possible. So another axe Yankee tip he gave me was putting my tongue of my handle on like a vent, like in the winter. If you have central air, or if you put it near a wood stove, and you dry this out as much as possible, there's no way it's going to shrink. It doesn't have the ability to shrink once you hang the axe anymore. It can only expand, which is ideal for handle lumber. Now, from here down, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters how dry this handle is from here down. I mean, it could move a little. It could like bow, twist. Maybe it could crack while it's drying. And that's why I'm going to start doing some experiments with hot sand. I know chair makers use hot sand for their spindles. So I might be trying that with relatively green wood. I might just dip it in hot sand, see if I can get away with hafting axes that way. I do worry that it'll make the wood more brittle, because you know that's one of the problems with kiln drying. Other than just case hardening, a lot of guys think that kiln drying is inferior to air drying when it comes to handle strength. And I think that's probably true, but also it's hard because lumber quality, it's on the inside. Now with handles, the handles are pretty thin, so you can get a good idea of what's going on inside. You can see there's knot right here. You can see all that funk happening. You can kind of tell there's stuff, but it's on the outside. So when growth rings are straight, that's how you know nothing is in that vicinity. But inside, there might be something behind it, you know. All you can do is just do your best investigation. You look at all the sides, you see if there's anything curling, anything going a different direction than you'd want. You can see there is run out on this handle. It's not perfect. This was actually going to be a bent handle for a hewing, for a broad axe, but I kind of just, so it was already bent, but I kind of just pared it down and made it straight for some reason. I just did it. I don't know. I just wanted, you know, it's like it was almost like OCD. It wasn't. It was almost like I gotta fix this thing. It's messed up. Anyway, just a few pieces of lumber and some thoughts on lumber. It's a big part of axes. I mean, without the handle, the axe is nothing. It's just a knife. It's just a knife that's too heavy and unwieldy. So remember that. This stuff is precious. I really value lumber a lot, especially because when I dry it, it takes, you know, can take more than a year sometimes to dry lumber, depending on thickness and type of species of wood. But anyway, that's my lumber. Hope you guys learned something, or you thought this was nice. This is really premium. This is some premium stuff. It doesn't really get much better than that. This is not hewed. Look how straight this is here. Let me, before I end this video, look how straight this is. I did not hew this at all. This is how this split. Isn't that amazing? This is like a, what would you call this, a 2x6? This is like a true 2x6 right here. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.